Hey, what's up, guys? Riv here. So I think it's no secret that 2024 was a very rough year for Warner Bros., especially when it came to their games department. They lost hundreds of millions of dollars, and it's not too surprising given the titles they chose to focus on. However, today we're looking at the latest disaster for Warner Bros., including the absolute cancellation of their Wonder Woman game and 3 related studios. However, as we'll see, that might have been a good thing. We might have avoided some disaster here because it appears that a lot of activists had found their way onto that Wonder Woman project. And we're going to show just who we're dealing with today. But first, real quick, just for 30 seconds to remind people, my Valentine's Day collection here that I made with my wife, Darling Straub, it'll be ending at the end of the day. Today, as you can see, we have all the products here, the unique flavor jar, as well as the wall art keychain here, some shakers to go with it. I'm proud to say the candle actually sold out, a very unique item, so I'm very happy to see people respond so well to that. And overall with the collection, I appreciate the support, guys. So if you want to check out this collection before it's gone, or check out anything on their website, make sure no matter what to use code REV at checkout to save 10% off your total order. I'll put all the relevant information in the pinned comment for you guys to check out. So let's get to the news here. So Warner Bros. Shuts down 3 major game studios and cancels Wonder Woman. So this is a very big deal. Here's the official statement given to Bloomberg, where they talk about the 3 studios that have been shut down, including Monolith Productions, Player First Games, and Warner Bros. Games San Diego. Now, of course, these are significant studios, these last 2 to be shut down, but a lot of people are focusing on Monolith Productions because this is a very well-respected studio responsible for franchises like Fear, Blood. They also made Lord of the Rings, Shadow of Mordor, as well as Shadow of War. They also developed the Nemesis system, which is an amazing gameplay mechanic that was so good that Warner Bros. Immediately trademarked it to make sure no one else could use it. But that's why people were really excited about the Wonder Woman game. And unfortunately, this game has been mired in a lot of complications for a long time. In fact, there was a recent Bloomberg report that claimed this game was in development hell. Basically, a lot of behind-the-scenes issues, including early last year, an entire reboot and switching of directors, and the game was already costing over $100 million. It was an absolute disaster, so it's not too surprising to see this game get slashed. But that was part of the reason people were so excited for this Wonder Woman game, because Monolith Productions was behind it, who has this very good reputation. However, I think it's very important to focus on what happened in the aftermath of these studio shutdowns and the cancellation of this game, because we're seeing a lot of activists, okay? As all these studios shut down, the rats are scattering, and we're seeing some of the people who were involved in this development hell that was Wonder Woman, okay? So let's see some of the people responsible for this project and why maybe we might have dodged a bullet with this game, okay? So this screenshot's been making the rounds. This is someone named Tracy who claims to be a Monolith dev for the Wonder Woman game. Of course, you can see immediately, just like anyone else who's an activist in this industry, they, them pronouns. They start off by saying, "Hi everyone, this message is 100% unofficial and unauthorized. Thank you so much for your fandom and your kind words and all of the time you've spent with us. I love all of your Nemesis stories, and I am so brokenhearted we won't be able to share Wonder Woman with you. Don't listen to anything anyone said about the project stalling or failing. It was going to be absolutely killer. I know every dev will say this about something they worked on, but it was going to be amazing. I am not allowed to say much, but I can say that every single person was pouring their heart into it, and it showed. Our narrative team had a fantastic and deeply meaningful story, especially in these really difficult times. I felt the world really needed the story we were telling." So that just screams modern audience and activism right there. Okay, they're saying that we're in difficult times. I'm assuming they're referring to the election results or something like that. Then they say this is a story the world really needed them to tell, which is peak narcissism and something you would expect from a woke developer or woke development team. And also, the irony on me is not lost. Okay, we're going to see a lot of people with they, them pronouns and stuff like this from Monolith in this video, and I think it's very ironic that you have these people who are working on Wonder Woman, and I would guess most of these people can't even tell you what a woman is. Okay, the irony is not lost on me. But let's check out the main protagonist of this video. This is someone a lot of people are talking about. This is another person from the Monolith team. This Cypher individual, their name is Tanya DePass, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. You can see they're a classic example of a woke developer. Not only the she, they pronouns, but also their Twitter account is on protected mode. They've gone private because over the past couple of days, they faced something they probably never faced before. And that's criticism. And just like everyone else in the industry, as soon as they get criticized, they disappear. They go private and they go into hiding because they just can't deal with it. Their bubble has been bursted. Now, Cypher was like a lot of other people from Monolith. When the announcements came out, they were very gung-ho, okay? They were sharing their thoughts and feelings about what happened, and they were very brazen. However, as you can see with the fact that they're private, they have gone back on that bravado quite a bit. So this was a series of tweets they made in reaction to the news that got a lot of attention and really told us what kind of a person we're dealing with here. So Cypher said this: "Yes, the news is true. I'm a free agent and open to opportunities. Almost 2 years pouring my heart into the Wonder Woman game. I effing refuse to share that ghoul's article, and do not send it to me if you value not being verbally flayed to the bone." I'm assuming they're talking about the Bloomberg article, which would be Jason Schreier, which is pretty funny. They're freaking out over him. But yeah, pretty much low-key making some very threatening remarks about that. But this is the part that goes even further. "Any of you MFs say a effing word about us deserving it, I will come for you. Do not try it with me or any of my colleagues," with these sword emojis. And then they say I'm logging off for a bit and trying to process this news. Like, first of all, shiver me timbers. I'm very afraid of this person coming after anyone who dares to criticize what's going on here or have a wrong think, essentially. But yeah, this is a classic internet tough guy behavior. They're saying, like, don't mess with me or my colleagues or I will come for you. And then they log off, which is like their only avenue of doing anything, which is, you know, saying things on the internet. But yeah, this is a very crazy thing to say. Some pretty threatening things they're saying in this, targeting journalists, targeting gamers, targeting critics. It's a lot, okay? But it doesn't really surprise anyone that this is their kind of behavior, because this person's unhinged, and overall everything else, they're an activist and a grifter. Okay, everyone throws around the word grifter all the time, but what grifter actually means is someone saying or changing their opinions based on whatever will get them the most, right? Whatever will get them the most attention or the most money, and this person is an example of that. So what you're seeing here is a compilation of images where they were talking about CD Projekt Red, and in particular, Cyberpunk. And they were claiming over and over again that this game and the company has a transphobia problem because, of course, right? It's like the thing they can cry about here. But they would even go further, going to Rock, Paper, Shotgun, which is an extremely woke publication, saying they're also concerned about Cyberpunk's handling of non-white cultures because, of course, that's something they would also say. And then you see here, right, all these complaints here, and then a little later, and these are screenshots of them receiving free swag and gear from CD Projekt Red, and they are openly praising the company and sharing this stuff on Twitter. So 1 second, they're this horrible transphobic and I guess even racist company who's doing all these bad things with Cyberpunk, and then none of those things are addressed, but then they receive benefits from the company, and all of a sudden, the company is now good. Yeah, that's classic grifting behavior right there. But it gets even more interesting because if you look at their bio, you notice they have Take This org. And we have talked about Take This before. They are an absolute sham. So you go to their website and you see this classic language of, "We are a 501c3 nonprofit mental health organization providing comprehensive resources and support that is tailored for the unique needs of the game development community." And of course, they embrace diverse cultures and yada, yada, yada. So this is a company that is a nonprofit, meaning they have qualified for this label that essentially prevents them from having to pay federal tax dollars because they have this sort of health mission, right? But it's all a sham, right? They are trying to do all of this to be activists who don't have to pay federal tax dollars, which is really insane. And they were heavily criticized for this blog post last year in March, right after the explosion of Sweet Baby and all of the criticism heading their way. They made this titled Responding to Gamergate 2, where basically they talk about this targeted harassment campaign within the game industry targeted at Sweet Baby Inc., this poor narrative development studio that was just being bullied for no reason at all. You know, of course, ignoring their agenda, and just like all of the journalists who made articles about the situation, completely ignoring the fact that all of this began because a Sweet Baby Inc. employee started a harassment and false reporting campaign against Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, a Steam group just trying to curate the publicly available list of games that Sweet Baby was working on. They have the narrative just like all the journalists and all of the woke developers have, and that's not too surprising. This is a giant form of activism. Take this is one that is activism without having to pay federal taxpayer dollars to do it. It's quite a sham. Now, of course, you go to the website as well with the whole board of members here, and you'll see Tanya DePass. This is the Cypher individual we've been talking about. And you scroll down, they have their whole kumbaya set of goals and things here. But you can see they're the director of I Need Diverse Games. Can you think of anything that screams more modern audience than that? But if you go to the link, it doesn't even work. Website expired. I guess they didn't pay the bills on this one, right? Kind of insane. But you know what is working? Their Kickstarter. Yeah, don't worry, the Kickstarter is still working. So, Cypher was a person who started a Kickstarter for Into the Motherlands, this tabletop RPG that raised $360,000. And as they proudly exclaim here, it was funded in 90 minutes. So that's a lot of money. This game was fully funded back, I believe, in 2021. So it's been 4 years. And how do you think this has been going so far? Well, if you search through the comments of people from this project, pretty much all you see is people begging for updates because it seems like there's nothing going on. In fact, this user points this out, saying June 27th, just want to give you guys all a heads up that we've delivered the quick start manuscript and art to Green Ronin. That means the PDF should be available in mid-July and hard copies in early August. Now in November 8th, they report this while we get the quick start sorted. Sorry for the delay. Edits await, and B Dave is away in UK through the week. So we've gone from a 3-week turnaround to PDF to an indeterminate length of time without reason or warning. I'm no publishing expert, but I'd expect a creative to know the process well enough not to go backwards over 5 months. This funded in August 21 with an ET of Q3 of 2022. So just this delay is 40 to 50% of the original budgeted time frame. So they're looking at the very few updates that have been provided, and they paint a very grim picture. One that clearly shows there's not much going on. I mean, this game, according to their own projections, would have been finished like 2.5 years ago. And we're basically at like step 1. This is not a very good look, and it seems like, once again, another great way to hustle some money out of people. But let's go further. So some of the stuff we got from Savvy here, she's doing another deep dive on all these people, and let's keep looking around, right? Like I said, the rats are scattering. There's more than just people like Cypher and that developer that anonymously reported or unofficially reported. There's more people. Let's get a sense of the people that were at Monolith. So you have this individual, this Anne LeMay, who's, of course, they, and has Black Lives Matter and pride flags and all of these things. And they're retweeting stuff like this, saying, can't piss off the bigots because they spend money, and they're rejecting that notion or something. I don't know what's going on. Peak activism. Then you have this individual, howdy, I'm Ellie. I'm the narrative designer at Monolith, working on Wonder Woman. I'm all about diverse games, storytelling, and game academia. And then you look at their bio, and just all makes sense, doesn't it? They're a neurodivergent sage, a feral altruist. I don't know what really any of that means, and I don't really want to. There's some more here. Just to give you a taste, this Nathan guy, his thing says, actions speak louder than words. Okay, well, what's going on here? This is just an avowed Stan account now, because how are all these companions so well written? The dialogue is incredible, yada, yada, yada. So basically, this person's now an avowed Stan account, okay? That seems very childish and weird. And we have this individual, Alix, who's a writer of TV, games, and Oxford commas. Astrid and Lily Save the World, Gotham Knights, Wonder Woman, and of course, she, her, pronouns in bio as usual. And they say this with the cancellation, or the news of Wonder Woman's cancellation and the closure of Monolith Productions. I must unfortunately add my voice to the growing chorus of writers looking for work and blah, 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 blah. And the first thing they promote about themselves is how diverse they are. You get the point, right? There's some more examples, but you really do get the point. These are the type of people that were working on this game, and it seems like a lot of activists, which is very surprising to a lot of people given the success of Monolith. I guess they kind of snuck in, right? The activists have breached Monolith, and then it's shutting down, just like that. Maybe we really did dodge a bullet with this game being canceled. You know, it's a Wonder Woman production. This is a beloved character that has a lot of promise. I mean, over the past decade, we've seen some triumphs and we've seen some disappointments, but there's always potential with Wonder Woman, and unfortunately it was in the hands of activists, and it's not surprising that this game went through development hell, as well, getting shut down entirely. So also it's important to point out that Warner Bros. Is just really shooting themselves in the foot constantly. Monolith is shutting down, but Rocksteady is still working as intended by Warner Bros., right? And not only did they deliver the failure that was Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League and partnered with Sweet Baby Inc., they're also being put in charge of the next Batman game by Warner Bros. Make it make sense, okay? The Sweet Baby connection is all over the place, and it's not too surprising to see some more disaster among any partner or production of Warner Bros. And also, one last thing to point out, how convenient. Warner Bros. Retains the patent to the Shadow of Mordor's Nemesis system until 2036, essentially assuring that the system will be gatekept by Warner Bros., who probably won't be producing anything good for the next, 11 years. Disaster. Just disaster everywhere with this entire thing. As I said, it's shocking to see this happen to Monolith, but given the type of people who were among the team at Wonder Woman, maybe it was a good thing. Maybe we dodged a bullet after all. But yeah, that is the story for today. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.